In this video, we are going to do the extrude boss and extrude cut exercise. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up a new part file. So part, click OK. And then I'm going to format my units. So I'm going to go down here and click Edit Document Settings. And the drafting standard is going to be ANSI. The dimensions are going to have a precision of 0.123. And then the units are also going to have a 0.123 precision. And the system is going to be IPS because the instructions state that this is in inches. And then click OK. Then I'm going to save my work. So click Save, and I'm just going to save it on my desktop. For this assignment, you'll type in your username or first name, initial, last name. So J Bergman _ this is going to be extrude boss and extrude cut. That's what you're going to save it as. I already have this on my computer, so I'm just going to say J Bergman practice for now. Okay, save. Okay. And for this example, we're only going to have two features. So let's create our base sketch for our first profile. So we're going to create a new sketch on the top plane. So click top plane, then sketch. All right. And if yours computer doesn't become normal to the top plane, you can hit Control-8 on your computer to bring your view or display in the graphics area to the normal view. All right, so we are going to sketch a center line. So click the arrow next to line and click center line from the origin over here, and you make sure it's a horizontal relation. Click. All right. And then we are going to draw 3 circles. Okay. I can add stuff later. And then in the picture below, I see there's other circles inside of it. So I'm just going to draw those in now. All right. Then click out in the graphics area to deselect anything that was selected. Now I'm going to add equal relations between both sets of circles. So hold Control on your keyboard and then click the 3 bigger circles and click equal, check. All right. And then I'm going to hold Control on my keyboard and click the smaller circles and hit equal, check. And then I'm going to hold the Control again and click this smaller circle, the center line, and the other smaller circle, and add a symmetric relation here. And then check mark. Oh, and then I see that I'm going to hold Control one more time and click the end point of the center line, and this point, center point of the circle, and add a vertical relation here. All right. I notice there's also another center line I didn't add, so I'm going to click the arrow, click center line, and add that center line there. Now I can go in and start adding dimensions. So click Smart Dimension. The smaller circle is going to have a radius, or let's see here, a 0.472. Enter. Okay. And then the bigger circle is going to have a diameter of 1.42. Enter. Escape. And then we're going to add the distance from this center point to this center point is going to be 2. Enter. And then the distance from this center point to this center point is going to be 2 as well. Enter. All right. So you know you're doing everything right if you look in the status bar and you see fully defined. If you don't, you need to make sure that you add all of these dimensions and relations to get fully defined here. If yours says fully defined, then you can move on to the next step. So we're going to use a 3-point arc. The location of the arcs is in the center here, and you're going to click the down arrow and click 3-point arc. We're going to draw an arc. Just click on the edge of this circle, then click on the edge of this circle and move your cursor in the downward direction and click. And then escape to deselect. Okay. And then I just clicked in the graphics area. Then we're going to add tangent relation. So hold your control button on your keyboard and then click this arc and this circle and add the tangent relation there, check mark. Hold control again on your keyboard and click this arc and this circle and add a tangent relation there, check. And then add a dimension of, let's see, it says a radius of 2. So type in 2, enter. Right. We're fully defined here, so we're good to move on. And then the next step is to use the 3-point arc again, and we are going to just click on this circle, click somewhere over here, and then move your mouse down so the arc is in the downward direction. Okay, and then click in your graphics area to deselect that arc. And now we're going to add a tangent relation. So hold control on your keyboard and click the arc and click the circle and select tangent, check mark. And then we're going to add a smart dimension. Let's see here, 0.6, enter. Okay, awesome. And we're going to be able to fully define this once we draw this line here. So, oh, actually we can do it now. So hold down control on your keyboard and click the endpoint of this arc and then the center point of the circle and click vertical. Check. Okay. All right. Oh, okay, I see here. It can move any direction up or down. So we still have to draw the line to define it. All right, the next step is to use the mirror entities command. So click mirror entities. The entities we want to mirror are this arc and this arc. And then we want to copy those about. So click the mirror about section. We want to use this center line as the mirror about line. And then we're going to click check. And then we're going to select the line command and connect the endpoints of these two arcs here. Escape, escape, and then click smart dimension. And the dimension for this line is going to be 0.63, enter, escape. And that should fully define these arcs for you. Next, we're going to click trim entities, and we are going to trim the inside of these circles. And if you did your trimming correctly, you should have a closed profile, and this should all be purple. If this is not purple for you, you might have some extra things you need to trim over here. Just zoom in to your sketch and see where there's openings or maybe a line that's hanging off that needs to be trimmed to make it closed. All right, so now we are going to add a feature to this sketch. So click the Features tab. We're going to use Extruded Boss Base, and we're going to use the blind extrusion option. And for our depth, I'm going to make the depth 0.394 inches. Enter. And then make sure it's going in the upward direction. And then we're going to click check for OK. Now we're going to do the second feature, or first create the base sketch for the second feature. So we're going to create a new sketch on the front plane. So click front plane and then click sketch. Then Control-8 on your keyboard if it didn't, your display didn't become normal to the front plane. All right, and then we're going to click, let's see here, click the circle command. And I'm just going to draw 2 circles just right here. Okay, then escape. All right, and how I need to make these construction circles. So I'm just going to click on the circle, and there's 2 ways to do this. You can use this little pop-up menu and click construction geometry. If you click that, it becomes a circle, a construction circle. And then I'm going to, or you can click this circle and then click for construction in the properties manager, check mark. And that's the other way to make these construction circles. Now we're going to add the tangent constraints or relations. So hold down Control on your keyboard and click this circle. And we want to be tangent to this face here. So we can click this line there and add the tangent relation. Check. And you can see, I'm going to rotate for you really quickly. You can see that it is actually tangent to the face here, not the line we selected. Okay, then I'm going to hold or hit Control-1 on my keyboard to make this the front view. All right, and then I'm going to hold Control again on the keyboard and click this circle, and then click this smaller circle and make these tangent as well. Check mark. All right, and then we'll add some dimensions to these. So this bigger one, click. It says it has a radius of 4.5. So the diameter, which is, you can see it says D1, which means we're entering into diameter, not a radius, or well, dimension, but dimension 1 actually. But when we have a full circle, it actually will dimension as a diameter. Oh, here it is, dimension text. It says DIAM, meaning that it's a diameter. So we need to make that 4.5 times 2, because the radius is 4.5. You can use a calculator to do this, or you can just type it into the dimensions window right here. So I'm going to type in 4.5 times, which is Shift 8, 2, enter, and you can see that it dimensioned it for you at 9. And then for this smaller one, that's going to be 0.875 times 2, enter, and that is going to be diameter. All right, so let's move on. We're just going to draw normal, our circles, our geometric entities, just right on top of these circles. So click the center point of the bigger one and then draw it where it overlaps with the diameter of 9 circle. Same thing with this smaller one. Right. And now we have those 2 circles. Now I'm going to draw a line from, see here, I'm just going to draw a line from the end of this point to this circle here. All right, and I did it where it automatically added a tangent relation. If yours did not automatically add a tangent relation, you're gonna have to hold down Control and select these two entities, the circle and the line, and add the relation there. Okay, but mine's already added, as you can see. Then, in order to bring this circle down, we're gonna click on this line, and where it says add relations in the properties manager, we're gonna make it horizontal there. Check. All right. And then we are going to add a distance. So smart dimension from this point to this line right here, not the origin, but this line is going to be, click, and that's going to be 4.325. Enter. All right, awesome. And then the part that we want to extrude is actually this region here, but you can see that we do not have a closed profile right now. We need to add a line coming down and a line going to the right here so that we can connect everything and trim. So we have a closed profile here. So I'm going to draw a line and I'm going to hover over this edge here, and right here is the point that you see. That is going to be the tangent point. So we want it to be on that point because wherever this circle is tangent with this face is going to be the point it's touching one another. So we want to use that point. So click the diamond there for the first point of the line, and then go down and click this edge for the second point. And then you can keep drawing and just connect to this line right there, escape. Okay, and you can see we are, oh, I'm going to click this line and make it a vertical line. Okay, hold on a second, check. I'm going to do Control Z really quickly. Why is this? Let me delete that one. Click there, make it vertical. Okay, there's a problem here. Control Z to undo. So click that line. I'm going to delete that line really quick. And okay, click there. Oh, I see. When I brought it down, I'm just going to click, make this a diagonal line really quick, and click this point, escape, and then click the line and do vertical. Okay. Originally, I brought this endpoint down to the midpoint of this line, which is right there. And so I added that extra constraint, which is why it was diagonal. Now I'm going to click the line, click the endpoint there and there. Okay, now we're fully defined, not over defined. Next, I'm going to click trim entities and trim this circle here, and then this circle, right? And you can see this is all purple, which is what we want. The last step is to click circle command, draw smaller circle, which is going to be the hole, and add a dimension to that, which is going to be 0.785. Enter, escape. All right, escape again. And now we have this profile. We're going to go back to the Features tab and click Extruded Boss Base. We are going to use the mid-plane extrude option. And for the depth, we're going to use 0.630. Enter. And then we're going to click check. And you can hit Control-7 on your keyboard, and it will put this in the isometric view. And that is your completed part. Make sure to save and submit this assignment in Canvas.